Well, 3D printing is something we kept our eyes on for many, many years as that technology developed. I had been doing things with 3D printing over 20 years ago, and had some good results, but could see weaknesses and problems in the technology that have since been resolved. We've watched this thing for years and years, and finally decided after revisiting it that now is the time. The printers, the scanners, the ability to capture the detail that traditional molding captures is there. We're at that point. There are so many positives of 3D printing above traditional molding. It's a long laundry list of things. But one of the interesting things that we can do is once we have a fish that has been scanned in and we have done our post scanning work to the fish scan, we can then make that fish in virtually any size that we want. I could take this bass here and I could literally make this thing, if I wanted to, 10 feet long. I could do that. It'd come in sections, of course, to be put together. The other thing that is so powerful about 3D printing is that this particular bass here, other than its paired fins and a set of eyes, is completely paint ready to go. Meaning there's no grinding seams, there's no release agent that has to be removed from it. The fins, if you want to heat them and articulate them, that can be done. This particular fish was printed in an all white color. We now have done them in clear and then painted the bodies, primed the bodies so that the customers that still prefer a clear fin in the fish species that require that, having a clear see-through fin, we have the ability to do that and have that also as part of what we offer. But this is so nice, so ready to go. The transitions between the fin and the body are completely 100% ready. There's no grinding, there's no putty work, there's no fixing, there's no filing, no sanding. This thing is the most user-friendly reproduction fish you'll find on the marketplace. Now, the interesting thing, as I said, that's one size. That exact same fish is seen here, printed in a smaller size. So we have the ability now to custom basically print fish to the size that people want. So one fish, such as this one here, in our offerings becomes probably up to 16 different sizes and positions that we offer it in. Here's the same fish again, printed in a gray plastic, but this one here is the same thing as this big 24-inch bass here. Now, as bass grow and fish grow, like people, like everything else, the body grows only to a certain length. The fins and the heads kind of stay the same after a fish gets so large, and it's only the body that continues to deepen, meaning getting thicker, fatter, and so forth. You don't catch 60, 70-inch muskies. You catch muskies that are approaching 60 inches, and they have different girths and weights, and their fins usually stay the same. So we are able then to go back into our scans and adjust for that. So if a fish, if we're going to take a fish up, say 4 inches larger than it was and 4 inches down, I would take a 16-inch bass and bring him up to a 20-inch bass, and on the backside I'd bring him down to 12 inches. That increment category is what I would do. I wouldn't take a small 6-inch bass and try to turn it into a 25-inch lunker. It would not work. The proportions are all off. So we've kind of more or less gotten that figured out. Here's an actual, this sunfish was actually this size, and we printed it in a large size. So we can get that big giant bull sunfish that people want, but we took it from about an 8.5-inch sunfish and brought it up to this size. So that's doable. And vice versa, we took the same sunfish and we brought it down to a smaller sunfish, same thing, that now can be used as a bait fish or chasing in a taxidermy fish diorama.